You have seen the amazing things Claude can do, but building a whole system around it feels overwhelming. Where do you even start? Today, I am breaking it down into 7 concrete, manageable steps. By the end, you will not just understand the concepts, you will have a working architecture you can customize for any project. Most AI architectures are wrong. Here's the one pattern that matters. The key insight is to start with the user's frustration, not the AI's capability. What this means is you must define a single, painful task, like wading through hours of meeting notes, that your system will completely own. This ruthless focus is what separates a toy from a tool that people will actually use and rely on. Think about the most tedious, brain-numbing chore in your workflow. Got it? That is your objective. The pattern clearly indicates that if you cannot measure its success in one sentence, "It saved me 3 hours a week," then it is still too vague. A precise target is the only way your system will hit it. Now, what we are doing here is building a system that truly serves you. So get brutally specific with that objective. The moment you quantify it, like reducing response time from days to minutes, you have created an unbreakable filter. Every single technical choice will now be guided by that one, measurable mission. Think of your objective as the architect's blueprint. Without it, you are just piling up materials. But with a crystal clear why, like extracting dates from transcripts, every line of code you write becomes a purposeful beam in that structure. This singular focus prevents scope creep and ensures your final system stands solid and serves its exact purpose. Forget everything you think you know about building AI agents. The system lives or dies here. Your input source dictates everything downstream. A database query demands precise parsing, while user text thrives on understanding intent. Mismatch this, and your entire architecture will struggle. So choose deliberately. This single decision sets the tone for how your AI will perceive and interact with the world you are building. Think of this as Claude's first impression of your world. The data you hand it must be pristine. This step decides if Claude sees a clear, structured request or a confusing jumble of noise. Flawed input guarantees flawed reasoning. So meticulously format every piece of data before it arrives. This is how you command clarity from the very first prompt. Now, decide the shape of its answer. You are choosing Claude's communication style. Plain text is for conversation, Gesso for machines to consume, or a direct database update for automated action. This choice dictates how your system integrates into the real world. Define this output with absolute precision. You are designing a pipeline, not just a conversation. So lock down the sequence, what enters, the exact transformation Claude performs, and the final artifact it delivers. This forced clarity exposes gaps early and ensures every piece has a purpose before a single line of code is written. That's how you build something that lasts. Forget everything you think you know about AI. How do you teach someone to solve a complex problem? Not in one step. You break it into simple, clear instructions. A prompt chain does exactly that. It's the precise sequence of tasks your AI completes to reach the final outcome. So, what's your one big goal? Now, what are the 3 small, necessary jobs to achieve it? But here's where everyone gets it wrong. That first prompt isn't about data hygiene, it is about control. You are forcing the AI to see the problem on your terms, stripping away its assumptions. This creates a stable foundation. Then, and only then, do you layer on complexity. Miss this step, and your entire chain will be built on shifting sand. Now, the second prompt is your primary command. Its entire purpose is to perform the singular, most valuable task in your workflow. The clarity you forced in step 1 is now the AI's entire reality. Deviate here with vague instructions, and you will waste that foundation. This prompt must be ruthlessly specific. Your system's intelligence lives or dies by this one instruction. And this final prompt is your system's finishing touch. It transforms raw intelligence into polished, usable output. Think of it as the quality control step that ensures every answer matches your exact format, tone, and style. What this means is you get consistent, professional results every single time, seamlessly integrated into your workflow. Most AI blueprints are wrong. Here's the one design that actually scales. So you just copy that long key string and paste it directly into your script, right? Absolutely not. The key insight is that your API key is like your system's master password. Hard coding it means anyone with access to your code now has the key to your entire AI budget and data. This is a critical, non-negotiable security failure. So where do you put it? An environment variable acts like a secure, hidden vault for this password. Instead of being written in plain text, your key lives outside your codebase in a protected system file. This single practice creates a fundamental layer of defense, separating your secrets from your application logic. But an error you do not handle will stop your entire system cold. A simple timeout or a sudden rate limit from the API will crash it. Your job isn't just to send a request, it's to build something that does not break when the network inevitably flickers. Plan for failure first. That's what makes a real, resilient application. So, you plan for failure. But now, you must execute with discipline. This is where the blueprint demands structure. Isolate your API logic into one dedicated module. Think of it as your system's command center. You make one change in one file, and it updates everywhere. This isn't just organization, it's control. It's how you build for the long term without rebuilding from scratch. Forget everything you have heard. Real AI architecture is shockingly simple. Now, this is where your vision truly takes shape. You will write a simple Python script, your system's heartbeat, that sequences each prompt like a master conductor. Think of it as the precise choreography that transforms individual AI responses into a single, fluid intelligence. This logic binds everything together, turning your design into a living, working system. So right now, you need to make those individual conversations talk to each other. This orchestration logic is the command center, ensuring each prompt's output perfectly sets up the next step's input. It's the intelligent handoff that creates a unified, flowing intelligence from isolated exchanges. Without this glue, you just have disconnected ideas, not a cohesive system. Think this step is just about passing data. It is not. Simple logging creates the system's memory. It allows you to see the exact chain of decisions, not just the final answer. When the output feels wrong, you will not be guessing at the cause, you will have a complete audit trail of its internal reasoning, making every failure a clear lesson. This is how you build durable intelligence. By isolating this logic, you create a stable central nervous system for your AI. The world will change, your business rules will evolve, but this orchestration layer remains your constant, reliable foundation. It is the difference between a fragile prototype and a system engineered to last for years. Most AI architectures fail. Here's the one pattern Claude's builders actually use. Think this step is about Claude. It is not. This is your shield. Claude will encounter nonsense or deliberate attacks. By validating everything first, you filter out the noise and the threats. This forces clean, structured data into your system, which dramatically cuts down on unpredictable responses. You are not just catching problems, you are designing the conversation. Imagine sending raw, unverified output straight into your database or user's hands. That's chaos. Your validation layer is the final checkpoint, a logic gate that confirms every response is on mission. Miss this, and you invite gibberish or wars. This is the ultimate control, ensuring only precision moves forward in your system. Even perfect logic can fail. When it does, your system must degrade gracefully. The insight is not preventing every error, but containing its impact. You must design a deliberate, final failsafe, a predefined response or a seamless handoff to a human operator. This is your containment protocol, the critical boundary between a manageable hiccup and a complete loss of trust. Hallucinations are not a possibility, they are an inevitability. The system will make up an answer at some point. Your crucial engineering decision is determining exactly what happens next. Do you serve a generic disclaimer, trigger a human escalation, or reroute the entire query? Define that end state now, before the first user question is ever asked. Forget RAG. Start here with Claude's secret simplicity blueprint. This small-scale test is your critical launchpad. You prove the entire system works under real pressure, revealing unforeseen bottlenecks before they become costly failures. The key insight? This controlled environment lets you validate each component's handoff, ensuring your architecture is resilient. What this means is you can scale with confidence, not guesswork. Here's your secret weapon, this final audit. You have built the engine, now test the fuel efficiency under load. A sudden cost spike or a sluggish response here isn't a failure, it is a priceless signal. It tells you exactly where to reinforce the system, turning potential public breakdowns into private, solvable puzzles before anyone else notices. Where does it stutter? The friction point is your blueprint's final revision. Pinpoint if the confusion is in your instruction, the data's shape, or how the system makes sense of the reply. That single constraint is now your entire focus, solve that, and you've unlocked its true capacity to work for you. Think of your first version not as a finished product, but as a rough sketch. You've proven the concept can walk. Now, you teach it to run. Isolate one joint that's stiffening the stride, lubricate it fully, and watch the entire system gain momentum. This single, surgical improvement becomes the launchpad for everything that follows. A successful Claude architecture starts with one crystal-clear objective and a mapped data flow. The real magic is in structuring reliable prompt chains and building a safety net for errors. You now have a complete 7-step blueprint to build, test, and iterate your own system. Pick one small project this week and apply this framework. Share what you built.